There is an unopened door in a hallway you have stopped walking down. Do not scroll past this. What I have placed inside it is already waiting for you. It is yours. If you leave now, you will spend another year asking me for the exact thing that is sitting right in front of you tonight. I will not let you walk away empty-handed. I know you are deeply tired. I know exactly how tired you are. My beloved child, I watched you pull into your driveway yesterday evening. You turned the engine off and you sat in the silence of your car for 5 whole minutes. You had to gather enough strength just to walk inside and be strong for everyone else in that house. You took a deep breath and put your brave face back on. No one knew how close you were to breaking down. They only saw the version of you that serves them. But I knew. I have always known. You have carried the weight of that household until your bones ache, and you have never asked anyone for a single piece of help. I am telling you what is moving toward you, and I am telling you tonight. I have never once been late to you, not one time. The heavy silence you have been sitting in is about to be explained completely. You are going to doing. I'm telling you, completely. Stay with me for the next few minutes. Do not put this down. The answer is much closer than you think. You will understand exactly why you had to wait this long. You will feel the heavy anxiety lift completely off your shoulders, and you will know the exact step you need to take tomorrow morning to claim what is yours. Type Amen if you are staying in the room. I want to see who is ready to finally receive. Let me give you something right now before we go any further. Notice what happens when you wake up. You open your eyes, and before you even sit up in bed, your chest is completely tight. Your jaw is clenched. You feel completely exhausted before the day has even asked anything of you. You have told yourself that you are just weak. You have believed that you are not praying hard enough or trusting me enough. That is a lie. Exhaustion does not come from the weight you were given. It comes from the weight you were never given. You are carrying things I never asked you to hold. You carry the moods of other people like water in your bare hands. It spills everywhere, and you never arrive. And that is only the very first layer of what has been stealing your deep peace. We have to go much deeper. There is a reason the answer feels delayed. It is not a punishment. It is something else entirely. What you asked for is safely held in a room you have not yet stepped into. I call it the prepared room. And the key to that prepared room is not found by waiting harder or striving more. It is found by listening to what I am about to say next. Do not walk away from this door. The room is already unlocked. You have waited a very long time. I know the months have slowly turned into painful years. You have watched other people receive their answers while you stood quietly in the background. You celebrated for them. You smiled and you said all the right things to support them while they rejoiced. But inside your own heart, you were asking me when your turn would finally come. You asked me if I had forgotten your address. I have not forgotten you, not for a single second. You are not invisible to me. I see every time you choose to do the right thing when absolutely no one is looking. I know the quiet thought that is moving through your mind right now. You are thinking that you have heard all of this before. You are remembering the times you believed something good was coming, only to be bitterly disappointed again. You kept your hope alive for a week, and then it broke apart. You are afraid to hope tonight because hoping has cost you too much pain in the past. I am not offended by your fear. Your caution is heavy armor you earned through real suffering. I made the part of you that wants to be careful. I will never punish you for protecting your own fragile heart, but you must understand the difference tonight. What you tried before was behavior. You prayed longer hours, you fasted, you tried to be perfect so that I would finally reward you. You were working on the completely wrong layer. You did not fail. You were simply exhausted from trying to earn my grace. You have felt completely abandoned in the waiting season. You thought my silence meant I was angry with you or that you had done something wrong. Silence is not the same thing as absence. A father sitting in the dark beside his sleeping child makes no sound at all. He is perfectly still. The child might wake up and think he is alone in the room because he cannot hear anything. He is wrong about the room. He is not wrong about the dark. The dark was real, and it was long, and it was deeply painful. I will not ask you to call the darkness good, but I am asking you to realize you were never alone inside of it. I have been standing right next to you every single time you cried. I collected every tear that fell onto your pillow, I saw the countless moments you wanted to give up entirely and walk away. You did not give up. You are still here. That quiet faithfulness is the very thing I am honoring tonight. The silence was never a rejection. It was the time required to build something that would not crush you when I finally handed it to you. We are going to walk into that prepared room together. I know what rose inside you just a few minutes ago. You heard my voice, and you felt a small flicker of hope. But then a quiet thought pushed back against it. You told yourself that you have heard all of this before. You have knelt on the floor and cried out to me. You made a promise, and you kept it for 11 long days. But you broke it on the 12th day, and your painful situation stayed exactly the same. You are telling me the completely honest truth. I will not argue with your painful history. You lived through every single hour of that bitter disappointment, and I was standing right there with you for every single hour of it. But you must hear the crucial difference tonight. What you tried in the past was just behavior because you reached for the branch instead of the hidden root. You tried to force a huge change by waking up much earlier. You prayed for incredibly long hours. You freely forgave people who never once asked you to forgive them. You built a strict discipline and you carried it until your physical strength simply gave out. Strength always gives out eventually, because it was never designed to hold something this heavy for this long. You did not fail me. You worked faithfully on the completely wrong layer. Because nothing changed quickly, you drew a tragic conclusion. You decided that the long silence was a strict form of punishment. You looked at the closed doors and convinced yourself that you were being left behind on purpose. You thought I was deeply angry. You believed your lack of perfect faith disqualified you from receiving any miracles. Beloved, that is a devastating lie. I do not use silence to punish my precious children. You are not being penalized for your natural doubts. You are not standing in the back of the line because you stumbled yesterday. I need you to understand how deeply I love you right now. I do not demand absolute perfection before I provide a massive blessing. The silence you have been suffering through is not a sign of my absence. It is the necessary space where your true strength is finally being forged in the dark. Let me show you what this false belief has done to your daily life. Picture your own kitchen yesterday morning. You stood at the counter while the coffee was brewing. The house was completely quiet, but your shoulders were already raised and incredibly tight. Your mind was already racing through a dozen problems before you even took your very first sip. You were totally exhausted while standing completely still. You probably told yourself that you are just a naturally anxious person. You assumed you were worrying too much about the state of the broken world. That is not the real truth. The heavy exhaustion does not come from the specific weight you were given. It comes from the heavy weight you were never given. Because you thought I was silent, you tried to fix absolutely everything yourself. You picked up heavy burdens I never assigned to you. You carry the terrible moods of your family members. You carry the fragile peace of a house that is not yours to keep peaceful. You haul around the mistakes of other adults as if you are directly responsible for their choices. You carry another person like water in your bare hands, and it spills everywhere while you never actually arrive. I am giving this a name tonight, so you can finally see it clearly. This is the borrowed load. It has your fingerprints all over it, but it was never yours to carry. So, I am asking you to do one very small thing tomorrow morning. I do not want a grand vow. I do not need a massive spiritual transformation. Just give me 10 seconds. Stand at that exact same sink and wait for 10 seconds. Before you pick up any familiar problem, ask yourself one simple question. Did my father hand this heavy thing to me? If the honest answer is no, you must set it down immediately. Set it down without a long speech and without a single apology. Putting down a heavy burden I never gave you is not an act of selfish abandonment. It is an act of pure and holy obedience. You cannot step into the prepared room while your hands are full of stolen weight. Drop the heavy bags. Let them fall to the floor right now. I want you to make a physical declaration right now. I want your hands to do something powerful while your spirit is listening. This is how you break the ancient pattern. Type, "I set down what was never mine," in the comments below. Write it out and let it be the final truth. You are not going to carry their heavy bags anymore. I am taking them from you right now. Now we can safely look at the strange silence itself. Once your hands are totally empty, you can finally receive the true answer. You thought the quiet meant you were permanently denied. You believed I said no to your absolute deepest prayer. Between the asking and the arriving, a massive and beautiful work is being done. The careful work is not being done on the water. The powerful work is being done on the vessel holding it. You are that precious vessel. If I handed you the heavy blessing before you were truly ready, it would completely shatter you. A massive gift that arrives before the hands are fully prepared is not a mercy. It is a tragedy wrapped in beautiful paper, and I love you far too much to let that happen. The delay was never a cruel rejection. It was the powerful divine covering that kept you absolutely safe. Let us go much deeper into that terrible silence. There is a specific prayer you have completely stopped praying. You used to say it every single night, with hot tears running down your face. You begged me to open a heavy door, and you pleaded for a massive breakthrough that would finally let you breathe. But the room stayed incredibly quiet for several long years. Eventually, you just stopped asking me for it. You still talk to me before you sleep, but you took your heavy weight off those specific words a long time ago. You left that massive request completely out of your daily conversation. You pray like a tired man greeting a neighbor he expects absolutely nothing from. There is a painful moment right at the end of your prayers. You catch yourself, and you think that I have heard this so many times already. You feel foolish for asking again because you feel like a burden. So you close your mouth and you try to be satisfied with the quiet scraps. You convince yourself that asking for more is just greedy. You have drawn a tragic conclusion from my long silence. You decided that I simply said no to you. You thought I was busy with someone else who had much better faith, and on the absolute hardest nights, you concluded something far worse. You believed I was not listening at all. You thought your painful words just floated up into a cold and empty ceiling. Beloved, I must answer that terrible fear directly right now. I heard every single word. Not one of those lonely nights went unwitnessed. I will also never tell you that you asked wrongly. You did not. There was no better hour for you to pray. There was no truer posture you could have taken on that floor. There was no magical arrangement of words that would have opened what a plainer word could not. Anyone who tells you the fatal flaw was in your spiritual technique is telling you something I never said. Your faith was incredibly beautiful, and your honest tears were completely enough. The silence was never a judgment on your true worthiness. Silence is not the same thing as a brutal refusal. The fragile human heart cannot always tell them apart. So your hurting heart filled the deep silence with the absolute worst word it knows. But listen to what actually happens in a long waiting season. Between the desperate asking and the final arriving, a massive work is being done. The careful work is not being done on the water. The powerful work is on the vessel holding it. I am going to give this a name so you can see it clearly. This is the unfinished yes. I am telling you what is moving toward you. I am telling you tonight. I have never once been late to you. Not on the dark night you counted the empty hours. Not on the cold morning you gave up counting. Some of what you asked for is being made perfectly ready. Some of it is being made much better than the thing you actually named. And some of it I love you far too much to hand you in the broken shape you asked for it. Now look back over those painful years you have called completely abandoned. You were not being ignored in them. You were being deeply formed in them. Think about the big opportunities you thought you missed. You mourned over closed doors and you wept over lost connections. You thought you were falling incredibly far behind your peers. Those closed doors were not crushing failures. They were my absolute protection over your fragile life. You were standing outside in the cold rain, and you called it a cruel rejection. But I was holding the door shut to save your life. A massive gift that arrives before your hands are ready is not a blessing. It is a heavy loss wrapped in beautiful paper. I have watched it break the very people who begged me for it. I would not let that happen to you. You could not see me working because I was working on the one thing you never thought to look at. I was working on you. Ask yourself honestly what you can carry now that you could not have carried before the long waiting began. That deep strength did not come from easy answers. It came from the long silence you thought was a bitter rejection. So I will not ask you to force yourself back into that specific prayer tonight. I want you to do something incredibly gentle instead. Change one single word. Where you have been saying why have you not, say instead what are you doing. Say it just once, out loud, before you go to sleep tonight. Shift your weary eyes from the empty sky to the solid ground. Notice what has actually grown around your tired feet. Take a piece of paper tomorrow morning. Write down one single thing that has grown stronger inside you since the day you began waiting. Just one small thing. Your patience, your quiet empathy for others, your amazing ability to sit in the dark without panicking. That page is your absolute evidence. You do not have to take my word for it when the dark silence gets loud again. You will have your own handwriting. You are finally understanding that the long delay was a massive shield of mercy. I invite you to declare it right now. Type, "The waiting was covering me," in the comments below. Write it down so your own eyes can read the truth. The wait did not destroy you. It protected you from a terrible storm you never even saw. You are safe. You have always been safe. You have seen what has been carrying you through the painful silence. Now let me show you a beautiful morning where you are not carrying that heavy dread anymore. Come with me to an ordinary morning a season from now. Nothing huge has been announced to the world. It is a simple weekday and the sky is doing nothing remarkable. You wake up before the loud alarm even rings. Your feet find the floor without a single argument. You cross the cold tile to the kitchen, and the coffee cup is warm against your palm. And you do not brace yourself for sudden disaster. Your tired shoulders stay exactly where they belong. The tight knot behind your ribs is completely gone. You do not run through a mental list of tragedies before the day has even opened its eyes. The phone lies face down on the kitchen counter. You do not feel it pulling at you from across the room. And the deep silence does not frighten you at all. That is the part you cannot picture from where you are standing today. You are standing inside a perfectly quiet room with a cup in your hand, and nothing inside you is running away. The silence finally feels like a warm blanket instead of a locked door. That peaceful morning is not a silly dream. That confident version of you already exists. She is not being assembled somewhere far away out of missing parts. She is standing right on the other side of one thing you are still holding with both hands. You know exactly which thing. It came into your mind before I finished my sentence. The distance between you and that morning is not time, it is permission. And permission is something you say out loud in a closed room. Say that you accept my covering tonight. The morning I showed you will start walking toward you. But there is another hidden reason why that beautiful morning feels so incredibly hard to reach. I must show you exactly what happens when you get too close to the open door. There is a place in your life you have arrived at more than once. You have never said this out loud to anyone. The difficult work was almost completely finished. The heavy door was almost open. The person was almost yours to truly trust. And then right at the very end, something inside you reached out and knocked the cup over. You went totally quiet for an entire week and let the good thing die. You picked a small fight over something that did not matter at all. Afterward, you sat in your car in the dark. You had no words for a person who runs from the exact miracle he begged me for. You watched the opportunity slip through your fingers and you felt a strange sense of relief. You told yourself it was just not meant to be, but the bitter regret always follows the relief. You believe you are just afraid of failing. You have said it so often it has worn a deep groove into your weary mind. You tell yourself that you are just afraid it will not work out. Beloved, look at the actual evidence of your own life. You have survived it not working out perfectly. You survived total failure more than once. You got up from the ashes and you built it all again. You are not afraid of the thing collapsing. You are afraid of what happens when it finally stands. Let me show you where that terrible fear was actually born. In the house where you grew up, someone did not rise. Someone set their music down and never picked it up again. The family learned to speak of it in a lowered voice. And a child watching that learns a tragic law that nobody ever says aloud. I am not permitted to go higher than the people I deeply love. To rise would be to leave them behind in the dark. To succeed would feel like an insult. To succeed would feel like accusing them of failure. So the loyal child builds a heavy ceiling out of pure love. Then he spends 30 years calling it fear. I am naming this so you can finally see it clearly. This is the loyalty ceiling. It is not cowardice at all. It is blind devotion aimed in the completely wrong direction. Now look again at the sad ruins you have been so ashamed of. You did not break those things out of weakness. You were trying to protect somebody. Every time you stopped just short of success, you were keeping an ancient promise. You were saying in a language older than words that you would not outgrow the people who raised you. That is not a defect in your character. That is a deeply loyal heart that was never told the absolute truth. And here is the plain truth tonight. Your staying small has never once made them any larger. The heavy ceiling has cost you absolutely everything, and it has given them nothing at all. Your failure does not heal their broken history. I want you to break that ancient agreement today. Say the name of the person you have been staying small for. Say it quietly to me right now. Then say this truth out loud. My rising takes nothing from them. My beautiful light does not steal the warmth from their quiet room. I want you to take one honest step above that invisible ceiling, not the whole staircase. Just one step tomorrow morning. A ceiling that is crossed even once loses all its false authority. The room above it is completely ready for you. You only have to stop fighting yourself long enough to simply walk upstairs. Let the old heavy ceiling finally break. There is a thought standing quietly at the back of your mind right now. I will say it aloud so it does not have to work so hard to be heard. You are thinking that this is beautiful, but it belongs to other people. You believe I prioritize others because their lives look so much easier. You feel like you are always standing in the background while other people receive their massive blessings. You think I do not know your unique situation. You are right about one specific part. Your story is unlike any other. I did not make you from a cheap pattern. There has never been a life shaped exactly as yours has been shaped. But listen to me carefully. Your beautiful story is unrepeatable, but the deep ache beneath it is absolutely not. The heavy pain of feeling overlooked is older than your name. Your details belong to you alone. The mechanism underneath is a shared human wound. If your deep suffering were truly without precedent, there would be no safe path worn into the ground ahead of you. But there is a path. Other faithful people have walked out of exactly this cold darkness. No one ever showed you where it actually begins. We are going to find it together tonight. You look at the answered prayers of your friends and wonder why your name was quietly skipped while they celebrated. You feel a quiet resentment building up in your chest. You do not want to be angry, but the constant waiting has made you bitter. I am not offended by your completely honest frustration. I would much rather have your angry honesty than your polite distance, because distance is the only thing that can actually keep us apart. I want to show you a moment you have already forgotten. You were feeling completely content. Nothing remarkable was happening at all. The coffee cup was hot in your hand. The house had gone perfectly quiet. And for 4 or 5 minutes, you were simply present, and it was deeply good. Then your thumb moved across the glass screen. You saw a kitchen much brighter than yours. You saw a family looking perfectly happy. You set the phone face down on the table, and the exact same room had suddenly turned completely gray. Nothing in your actual life had changed in those few seconds. Only your perspective had changed. You immediately scolded yourself for it. You brought it to me in prayer more than once. You asked me to forgive you because you thought you should be more thankful. My child, ungratefulness is not your real trouble. You are one of the most thankful people I know. Something else happened in that quiet moment, and it was not a terrible sin. It was a tragic theft, and you were the one robbed. Let me explain the hidden mechanism. A human soul cannot measure and receive at the exact same time. Those are two completely different postures. The delicate human heart can only hold one of those postures at once, and when you choose to compare, you forfeit the joy of receiving. The moment you begin to weigh your life against another person, your hands close in order to compare, and a closed hand receives absolutely nothing, because it cannot even accept the beautiful things that are already sitting right there in the room with it. That is why the coffee went cold in your mouth while it was still warm in the cup. I am naming this terrible pattern so you can catch it in the act. This is the thief of now. It never touches your future or your past. It only ever steals the precious hour you are standing in. Let me correct a false story you have been telling about yourself. You are not a bitter person. Those long years you spent feeling incredibly far behind were a complete lie. You were not behind, you were just measuring, and a weary soul that is measuring cannot see the solid ground under its own feet. All that time there was a beautiful life around you, ordinary and full and real. You simply could not see it. You did not fail to be happy. You were just turned away from it. So, here is what I give you today. You have spent so much energy trying to fix a life that was never actually broken. You were just viewing it through a stolen lens. Once you put the lens down, the true colors will immediately return. You will stop waiting for a spectacular rescue and start enjoying the quiet morning. This simple shift is the beginning of your profound freedom. I am giving you the heavy keys back tonight. When the desperate measuring begins, do not fight it and do not scold yourself. Simply lift your eyes and slowly name 3 physical things in the room you are actually standing in right now. Notice the weight of the cup. Hear the sound the house makes when no one is talking. Feel the steady breath moving in your chest. The sneaky thief cannot work while it is being actively watched. The hour you are standing in comes back to you the moment you look straight at it. The noisy world wants you to believe that everyone else has it figured out, but they are all fighting the exact same invisible battles. I want you to reject that loud noise tonight. Type, "The noise is not my voice," in the comments below. Say it loudly so the thief has to leave your house. Your peaceful presence is the greatest gift you can give yourself tomorrow. I have watched this exact thing happen 10,000 times, and I have seen it unfold in 10,000 different houses. First comes the intense striving, then comes the terrible exhaustion, and only after the exhaustion does the sudden opening finally arrive. You have already completed the first 2 difficult stages. You have let go of the heavy bags. You have stopped listening to the loud noise of the anxious world. Now, you are standing in the quiet hallway. You are looking at a door that has not moved in several long years. You have knocked on it until your knuckles physically bled, and you have asked me over and over again when your turn would finally come. You watched other people walk freely through their own open doors. You celebrated for them while your own tired heart was slowly breaking into pieces. You asked me if I had completely forgotten your home address. You have lived your whole life trying to earn a secure place inside. You followed all the strict rules, and you worked harder than anyone else. You thought that if you just proved your worth, the door would automatically swing wide open. So you exhausted yourself trying to be perfectly acceptable, and you scrubbed your own spirit clean every single night, but the heavy door stayed shut. You assumed the long delay meant you were simply not good enough yet. You believed your deep personal flaws disqualified you from the beautiful reward. That is a devastating lie. You have been reading the profound silence completely wrong. The heavy door was not locked to constantly punish you. It was not kept shut because you lacked enough pure faith. I never withhold my goodness to teach you a cruel lesson in humility. I withhold it to strictly protect you from things you cannot possibly see yet. But the season of absolute protection is now coming to an end. I am going to tell you the ultimate truth about your long wait. Listen carefully to me right now. What you begged me for was never delayed. It was not denied. It was actually released from my hand the very first day you bravely asked for it. It has been safely held for you this entire time. It is sitting securely in a place you have simply not yet stepped into, and I call this the prepared room. It has your specific name written clearly on it. Nobody else can ever take it away from you. I want you to claim that holy space today. If you are finally willing to stop standing in the cold hallway, make your confident declaration. Type, "I am ready for the prepared room," in the comments below. Write it out and let your own soul hear the solid truth. You are not waiting for a miracle to fall from the sky anymore. The miracle is already sitting quietly behind that exact door. Now look back at those long years you called totally wasted. You were not being punished in the lonely waiting. You were being deeply prepared, and the room itself was being beautifully furnished just for you. If I had opened that door 3 years ago, the sudden weight of the massive blessing would have crushed you completely. You did not have the deep roots to hold it back then. You have the incredibly strong roots now. The painful waiting did its silent work. The vessel is finally ready for the fresh water. Think about the people who walked away from you while you were waiting. You thought their leaving was proof that you were fundamentally broken. Turn that painful memory completely over. They did not leave because you lacked anything important. They left because they could not stand in a room that was still under construction, and I cleared them out so they would not clutter the space I was building for you. You must stop waiting for a spectacular rescue to drop from the clouds. You must stop acting like a beggar hoping for a tiny scrap of bread. You are the rightful heir to the entire house, and the heavy door is already unlocked. I am not going to push you violently through it. I am giving you the absolute authority to turn the handle yourself. Hear me where you make your deepest internal decisions. You were never behind. You were never the one who missed it. The thing you have been calling your sad delay has a completely different name. The true name is preparation. And preparation is not a harsh punishment handed to the unworthy, but rather exactly what I do to the special ones I intend to build something massive with. So, the bitter argument ends today. It does not just soften for a little while. It completely ends. You are not late. You are not less. You are not the tragic exception to my faithfulness. Every single tear you cried in that dark hallway was carefully counted and weighed. Not one drop of your quiet suffering was ever wasted in my holy sight. The long season of standing outside is officially over right now. Lift your tired head right now. Step into the room today. Take what is yours. You have stood in that cold hallway long enough. The freezing hallway is no longer your home. You must stop acting like a temporary guest in your very own life. Step inside the warm room today. Look around you. The stall, the deep peace you begged for is sitting right there. I already did the heavy lifting for you. You only have to bravely accept it. Nothing about this moment is an accident. You did not stumble onto this specific message by pure chance. I placed it directly in your path. I am telling you what is absolutely true tonight. I have watched this exact same hesitation happen 10,000 times. And it has never once ended the way the fearful person expected. You are completely safe here. Do not let your old fears talk you out of your new reality. The noisy world wants you to believe that you have to earn every single breath. It tells you that anything handed to you freely must be a trick. That is the voice of a broken system. My system operates on pure grace. You do not have to clean yourself up before you step across the threshold. You just have to walk through the frame. The beautiful room will do the cleaning for you. Now hear this carefully before you go. There is a terrible cost to another year of the exact same arrangement. I am not warning you about an angry enemy tonight. I am warning you about a deeply familiar habit. If you choose to stay outside, the heavy door does not magically lock behind you. I do not take your precious blessing away and give it to someone else. That is a cruel lie. I do not punish my children for their natural hesitation. But the quiet tragedy is that you will continue to live like a starving beggar. You will stay hungry while the massive feast is getting cold inside. You will spend the next 12 months asking me for the exact thing that was already handed to you tonight. You will suffer for absolutely no reason. That is the real danger. The painful price of waiting is paid very quietly. It is paid in the beautiful things you slowly stop expecting. It is paid in the heavy sighs you let out when you think nobody is listening. It is paid in the bitter resentment that builds up when you see others perfectly happy. Do not pay that tragic cost for another long year. You have already paid enough. Enough is enough. Weigh the choice honestly in your own heart tonight. On one side, you have the familiar safety of the cold hallway. It is comfortable, but it is completely empty. On the other side, you have the beautiful room I built specifically for your weary soul. That is the whole of the choice. I will not force you to walk through the open frame, but I am fiercely telling you that the warm room is immeasurably better. Your mind will try to pull you back into the familiar darkness tomorrow morning. It will whisper that this was just an emotional moment and nothing has really changed. You must prepare for that subtle attack right now. The enemy loves to use your own practical logic to steal your spiritual breakthroughs. Do not let the noise of the world take this massive victory from you. I have said almost everything I came to say tonight. What happens next is not mine to do. It is entirely yours. Right now, you are just someone who heard a beautiful message. In 3 short minutes, you can actually become someone who boldly claimed it. Those are 2 completely different people. And the second person is much harder for the noisy world to defeat tomorrow morning. I am not asking you to make a massive spiritual vow. I do not need a desperate promise you will probably break by next Tuesday. There is no secret ledger between us. I am asking you to make it absolutely real for yourself. When you write your confident decision down where others can read it, you stop being a passive listener. You become a living testimony. Putting your own name on the truth makes it a physical reality. It stops the busy mind from arguing with the quiet heart. So do not explain the sudden hope away. It does not need to be fiercely defended, and it does not need to be logically proven. It only needs to be said out loud. Let the heavy weight finally fall to the floor. Let the whole world know you are stepping inside. Before we finish tonight, You must understand that the most important thing has not been spoken yet. I have one more thing to hand you. I call it the last step. It comes right after the quiet blessing. It comes exactly in the part where you will think we are completely done. Do not go anywhere when it sounds like I am closing the message. That is precisely where the final key lives. I put it last on purpose, so the noise of the world could not steal it from you. Stay exactly where you are. I am not finished with you yet. You stayed until the very end. I told you there was one last thing. I called it the last step, and I held it back on purpose. I kept it hidden because you needed to see the open door before you could truly understand it. Now let me show you exactly what is waiting on the other side. Come with me further along this road than your tired eyes can currently see. Picture a quiet evening a few years from today. You are walking into a beautiful room that is fully furnished and completely warm. The people you love most are sitting around a sturdy table laughing together. You are holding someone by the hand, and your palm is completely relaxed, and your chest is not tight at all. Your breathing is perfectly slow and incredibly deep. I want you to carefully notice what is absolutely not in that room. There is no heavy dread waiting in the dark corner for you. You are not nervously measuring your life against anyone else at the table. The old familiar fear of sudden disaster is completely gone. You do not brace yourself when someone asks you a simple question. You are finally at deep and lasting peace. That beautiful room is not a silly dream. That confident version of you already exists. She is not being assembled somewhere far away out of missing parts. She is standing right on the other side of the heavy door. The distance between you and that warm room is not a matter of long time. It is a matter of pure permission. You only have to stop waiting for a magical rescue from the empty sky. Because you kept praying when the room was completely silent, I am moving you out of the cold hallway. You are no longer a hungry beggar hoping for a tiny scrap of bread. You are the rightful heir. You will step directly into what has already been built specifically for you. You will no longer measure my deep love by how quickly I answer your specific prayers. And this massive blessing will not stop with you alone. Your children will learn exactly how to inherit by watching you take this brave step today. They will see you walk into the prepared room, and they will learn that waiting does not mean you are forgotten. The generational pain is permanently broken. You are the faithful one who finally stopped it. You refuse to pass the heavy burden down. The heavy teaching is completely finished now. Let the busy words finally rest. I want to speak to you the way a loving father speaks at the end of a very long day. I am going to lower my voice for this last part. You came in here carrying a terrible weight you did not fully understand. You were exhausted from trying to hold the whole world together. You are not walking out with it. What you are walking out with is much smaller and infinitely better. You are walking out with the solid knowledge that the silent waiting had my protective hands wrapped completely around it. You are incredibly safe. I am standing with you right now in this exact room. I will be with you tomorrow morning when the noisy world tries to pull you backward. Do not let the loud noise win. You have been fighting a quiet battle that nobody else could see. You smiled for them, while your own heart was slowly breaking into pieces. I saw every single silent tear. Not one of them was ever wasted. I collected all of your quiet sorrow, and I used it to build the very foundation of the room you are about to enter. Everything you lost is returning to you in a much better shape. I am wrapping a shield of deep peace around your tired mind tonight. You will sleep deeply without running through a tragic list of future problems. You will wake up tomorrow, and the terrible tightness behind your ribs will be completely gone. I am giving you the profound gift of a quiet mind. You do not have to figure out the next 5 years today. You only have to take the very next step. This is the very last step I promised you. It is the final key to the prepared room. Right now, you are just someone who heard a beautiful message. In a few seconds, you can actually become someone who boldly claimed it. Those are two completely different people. I want you to claim this new reality with your own words. When you write it down, you seal the heavy door completely behind you. Make your final declaration right now. Type, "My hands are open to receive," in the comments below. Let this place know you stayed until the very end, because your faith is absolutely real. I read exactly what my precious children write. Lift your tired head, walk into your room, take what is yours.